how are you doing today? And welcome to 4FN Photography channel. Today we are going to talk about depth of field. So what exactly it is? Depth of field is basically refers to the area which is in focus. So what happens is when you focus on your subject, certain area behind the subject and certain area in front of the subject are in focus, and the rest is actually out of focus. So DOF, which is commonly known as the short form of depth of field is actually refers to the uh, area which is in focus. Probably you may have already noticed that by now the background behind me is not exactly in perfect focus. So, but I'm in focus. So what is happening here? So what is happening is the focus is actually set on me, and only a limited distance behind me is in focus, and it does not go all the way to background wall and background things, and that's why background wall and background things fall out of focus. Uh, Depth of field actually depends on three things. So these three things is actually distance to your subject. If you keep the subject closer to your lens or camera, shallower gonna be the depth of field. Second thing is the aperture opening of your lens or the f-stop number. If you go for higher aperture or smaller f-stop number, shallower gonna be the depth of field. The third thing that actually has big impact on the depth of field is focal length of the lens. Higher the focal length or larger the focal length, shallower gonna be the depth of field. Right now I'm gonna demonstrate how depth of field changes or behaves when I select these three things.
In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how you can actually create shallow depth of field as well as large depth of field by simply selecting aperture or the f-stop number. Uh, right now my camera setting is actually f2.8. I'm using 70 millimeter focal length lens. ISO is actually set to auto, and that is because I did not want to darken the video or overexpose the video when I change the f-stop number. I'm going to do a couple of things. First, I'm going to change the f-stop number from f2.8 to all the way f22. And what I want you to look at is the background. You can actually clearly see as I change the f-stop number from f2.8 to f22, the background is coming in focus gradually, and at the same time the video is becoming more noisier, and that is because the auto ISO is actually selecting higher ISO number automatically. I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to change back the f-stop number from f22 to all the way f2.8, just to show you one more time how you can actually create shallow depth of field by simply selecting lower f-stop number. Right now I'm changing f-stop number all the way to f2.8, and you can see the background is going out of focus gradually, and at the same time image is actually noise free because auto ISO once again selecting a lower ISO number automatically. You can see it's noise free, pleasing video right now. To demonstrate how depth of field changes as you change the focal length, keeping everything else constant, as you change the focal length, it also has impact on the depth of field. Right now, I'm actually using zoom lens because I want to zoom in and out, and I want to change the focal length of the lens. My camera setting is f2.8, ISO is 160. I'm starting with 70 millimeter focal length. What I'm going to do is I'm going to gradually zoom out all the way to its wide angle range, in this case 24 millimeter. You can see the background pretty much clearly. You can make out what is there in the background. It is in focus, as well as the subject is also in focus. I just changed one thing. I just changed the focal length. I did not change the f number. I did not change the distance from the camera to my subject, and you can see depth of field change as I change the focal length. In this video, I'm going to quickly demonstrate how depth of field behaves when you change the distance to the subject. Right now, I'm actually 2.5 meter away from my subject. I'm at f2.8. ISO is actually set to 160. I'm using 50 millimeter focal length lens. What I'm going to do is I'm going to gradually move towards my subject, and one thing is going to happen. The subject will fall out of focus, and that is because as I move towards my subject no longer belong to the initial focal plane. I have to re-establish the focus on my subject. So as I do that, you can see the background is way blurrier than what we started from. So you can see that as you decrease the distance to your subject, you can create shallow depth of field, and vice versa.